Hey y'all, what up? It's Johnny K from Team Xzavieur here, and today we've got another entry into our tips and tricks series that we're just simply calling the basics. It's a lot of the common questions that we've had based on just some game systems, certain mechanics, and just generally how certain things work. So hopefully you like this, you find it helpful. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Stay nerdy. First up, we have items. So most will typically drop with this little white tinge around it. Those are regular world drop items. Some enemies have random drops for certain pieces of gear. Some enemies just drop various items, as well as things just around the environment. Those will always be there, they'll always respawn. If instead of that, regular white tinge, like this, it has a purple tinge around it, then those are one-off items that you can only get once. So, just so you know. Alright, next up, everybody knows you have this cool horse, right? You can ride around. Well, actually, are you a horse? Are you a unicorn, donkey, dog? Yeah, that thing. So you can ride around on it. You can attack from it. What a lot of people don't know is you can use your two main attacks and a charge. Then you can also do a jump attack with it. And if you use the other two alternate attacks, so for me, it's an Xbox controller. So my right bumper, right trigger. So here's bumper, here's trigger. And then if you want to attack from the opposite side, so left side or the right side, then it's left bumper, left trigger. Really simple, but a lot of people have been asking me questions about why you can only attack from one side of your horse. Now you know. All right, next up, in this game, there is no attunement. Okay, it is not tied to a stat like the Dark Souls games previously. Now it is strictly tied to items. And that item is the memory stone right here. Increases memory slots. So you can have up to 8 of these, which brings your total spell slots up to 10 maximum. And you can buy these from various vendors. And the first couple aren't prohibitively expensive. You can get them pretty early on. There's at least 2 that you can get in the starter zone of that continent. So speaking of maps, you might not have all this explored. Some stuff will fill in when you get close to it, but the bulk of each region will be filled in when you get a map fragment. Now, before you actually know where these map fragments are, they are listed on the map. So right here, see this that looks like a monument? That right there is a map marker. So that means at that location will be a map fragment that will reveal whatever size this region is. So you can actually run right to them to reveal a ton of the map straight away. And then once you get to them, this is what they look like when you're up close. They're these little gravestone marker looking things here, and then there'll be an item right in front or right on the top of them. All right, next up, at the Church of Ella, when you are first getting into the game, a lot of people don't know that there's an item crafting system because there wasn't much of one in the other games. So now various things, flowers, herbs, killing and hunting animals, all give you item crafting. And there's various recipes that you can get, which come in the form of cookbooks and armorer's books at various vendors located around the Elden Ring world. Now, in order to access this menu, you have to progress through the main story arc a little bit. It's not far. This is a spoiler video, so we won't get into that. But once you do, you come back to Santa here, or the Grinch, What do you think? Santa? Grinch? And purchase, and right here for 300 runes, you can buy the crafting kit, which will unlock your basic crafting. And then these here, the Warriors cookbooks, say expand crafting repertoire. If you hit your more info buttons, it actually shows you what recipes will be unlocked for this said book if you buy it. This one, bone arrow, a fletched bone arrow, and bone bolt. So some NPCs have multiple, some have none. It's all random. But that's how you get that and get started on your crafting. And it can be a lot easier to do that, especially for things like arrows early on, when you're struggling to get the runes to level up and you don't want to spend it on lots of other equipment. So, and finally, and this might be the most asked thing, is there are a lot of people who don't like the single cycling through of items. Well, in this game, they tried to alleviate that somewhat. They have what is deemed a pouch system. So again, on Xbox controller here, so your controls might vary, but you open up your screen here with your equipment and everything else. Now, if you look to the right-hand side, where your gestures are, it also says pouch. If you go over to that, you can set something for the 4 cardinal directions of the D-pad, again on Xbox controller. So that way, if you hold the Y button, or whatever your interact is, it brings up a separate radial menu for the 4 cardinal directions with whatever items you want to put on there. Basically a quick access for anything that you want fast access to, that you don't want to cycle through 9 different things. Oh, I accidentally went by it. Well, now you got to cycle through them back again. I'm dead. I couldn't find my heal potion. So it can be a really handy thing. It's a little bit of a system to get used to because you have to hold Y and then hold a direction, and then you're probably trying to run away. So some people find it a bit wonky, but it's there if you want it.